Hi, it's Kat here from Go Cat Go Motorcycle Training. On the weekend I did a video. It's all based around beginner tips. There's a lot about cornering, what you should and shouldn't do. There's some roadcraft, some slow riding, and watch until the end of the video because I show you what not to do in a corner. I hope you enjoy the video. See you. Okay, we've just arrived at Jindabyne. We've had a coffee. I'm with my dear friend Renee, and we're heading up to Charlotte's to have a nice ride around the twisties. So people are always asking me about cornering, so we're going to talk about cornering today. A lot of people talk about the apex of the corner, and that's all right if you're on the track. But when you're on just a normal road, the apex is not really relevant, and I'll talk you through that as we get to it. So for now, we're just going through Jindabyne, bit of slow riding, waiting for this car. It's good for slow riding practice. I didn't put my foot down, but I did fast idle friction point, rear brake. Little bit of rear brake through that roundabout, just kind of sits the bike down and helps you stay online in the roundabout. Yeah, so I get asked all the time about cornering. Corners are probably one of the most tricky things that people get wrong on their bikes. There's a number of reasons for that. Going too fast into a corner, which we've all had a turn at doing. Another reason for people having trouble in the corners are they're in the wrong gear. So make sure you do all your gear changing and your braking before you get to a corner. Always start out wide. Make sure you're not too close to the inside line there. Renee's doing really well on that corner. Look at that. Middle of the road, middle of the corner. You end up finishing tight. Got another corner. She started out wide, which is really good. And this is where you've got to be careful on a right-hand corner, because if you go too close to the inside, it could be a car or a truck on the other side coming, because your bike's on a lean. Your body and your head could be on the wrong side of the road and could collide with the vehicle coming the other way, especially when there's trucks or buses coming. Starting out wide, lovely. Looking through the corner, looking at that exit point. And around you go. Now I'm already looking right down the road there. That's where I'm looking. My chin is pointing in the direction that I want my bike to go. My eyes are flicking backwards and forwards so I can see where I am in my lane. Should have cleaned my visor. It's got some bugs on it. Nice line there, out wide. Buffer, finish tight. Out wide for the next one. Well done, Renee. Looking, and you can see there's a vanishing point. So that's where my eyes are looking at the vanishing point of that corner. And they readjust as I go around until I can see the road opening up. That's when I know the corner's finished. So if I can't see the exit, I look for that vanishing point. She tipped in a little bit early for that one, but that's okay. She adjusted her path, which is good. And she slowed down a little bit just because she probably felt she was going into that corner a little bit quick, which is totally fine. Just incidentally on that, if you do go into a corner a little bit quick, you can put on a little bit of rear brake. Something's on the road here, so you just have to adjust your plan a little bit. It's a dead thing. Just make sure you're looking way ahead so you can adjust your speed and your gears if you need to, in case there's a squishy red dead thing on the road. Something I love about being on a bike, I just felt the temperature drop a little bit as we're heading up into the mountains. So that's always a nice feeling. You've got to be careful coming up here because it's a 60k zone and there's sometimes police parked on the side of the road, so you've got to be pretty careful about that. They tend to hide just up here where that sign is, especially in the winter time when we come up for skiing, which is another favourite pastime of mine, is to go skiing. So, and we're at Sawpit Creek. Good camping spot there for people when they're coming, either walking in the mountains in the summer or they might be coming up in the winter time. They camp there and go skiing for the day. Yep. Moving across, give yourself a lot of space and buffer from that car. You can move back into the middle. So it's a little bit of lane placement too when you're riding a bike. You're always trying to give yourself as much space as you can away from any potential hazard. You can see Renee's head turning. She's looking way up the road. That's really good to see. Adjust your plan because there's a car coming. You can see a nice head turn there. Well done, Renee. I've known Renee since she had her L's. Now she's on a full licence. It's really lovely to see how people blossom with their riding. They start off quite tentatively and, I'm a bit frightened about corners. It's all about practice. It's about getting your bum in that seat and getting on the bike and riding. You're also scanning and looking around, looking at your environment, making sure there's no animals on the side of the road, seeing where you are positioned in the lane, looking in your rear vision mirror, see if anybody's behind you. So constant surveillance. Never sit on your bike and just ride. You're constantly thinking about where you're putting your bike, scanning, looking for any potential hazards, giving yourself as much space as you can around those areas. And nice buffering from that truck there. She moved right over, just in case that truck decided it was going to change its mind and come back into the lane. Now, the other thing I'm looking out for is deer. Because we're in the national park now, there's a lot of feral animals around. There's pigs, lots of pigs. They do maximum damage. There's deer, and deer is out in the middle of the day, unlike other animals that are nocturnal. Deer can be out. I was only 2 k's out of town the other day and there was a deer on the road, so you have to be careful of that. There's a lot of signals that you can use when you're on a bike. The most important signal, of course, is nodding your head to an oncoming rider. A bit of acknowledgement. You can do a little wave or you can do a nod of the head, just a little hi. Or it might be a hi. Hi. It'll be good actually for you to see this.
Coming, a car could be.
Yeah, you're doing great. I'm waiting for you to do a bad corner and you're not doing it. Just got to be careful on this new work that there's no pebbles or stones in the middle of the road that could make it a bit slippery. So good on you, Renee. She slowed down for that because I'd slow down for that too. You just don't know whether there's loose stones. Stay on the track where the car tyres have been because the middle looks a little bit loosey-goosey. So, yeah, good on you, Renee. And again, she's chosen a pretty good line around that corner. That's exactly what I would have done. I can see loose gravel, so I'm also a little bit slow on these corners for sure. If you're going around a corner and you feel like you want to drop off a bit of speed, a little bit of rear brake, especially where there's rocks, you don't want to be stomping on your front brake, that's for sure. A little bit of rear brake around this corner. I can see loose stones, you can see those. It's not very nice when you're on a bike. Now that there's no cars here, I'll choose the right-hand lane or right-hand tyre track, just to give myself enough space on the road. I don't want to run off wide. Yep, nice big buffer around that car, which is good, just in case they decide to pull out again. Well done, Renee. Oh, I love it, seeing people on their motorbikes doing the right thing. It's fantastic.
Okay, so I lost the audio on my the little mic that was in my helmet, so I'm just dubbing over this. So just a quick lesson on what not to do in a corner. So I was riding along filming, and this guy overtook me, and as I followed him through the next corners, or the next few corners, I noticed something straight away. He was way too tight to the inside of the corner. Now, look, if you are on a racetrack and you're trying to find the perfect apex, then that's fine, but not on a public road. The apex is not the goal. Now, because you don't, and the reason is because you don't know what's coming. A car could be cutting the corner, which they've all done. We've all seen cars cut corners. There's buses, there's trucks. And if you are in too close to the inside of that corner, then your head and your bike is going to be way over the other side of the road. Not to mention gravel, potholes, wildlife, just something unexpected. If you are hugging the inside, you've got nowhere to go. That's why I teach middle of the road, middle of the corner, smooth and safe. It gives you vision, it gives you space, and it gives you options.